We'll leave you in downtown Anoka, where a brother and sister are fulfilling a dream, one growler at a time.
I was brewing a couple batches each week on that 1 gallon system, and I eventually went to the 5 gallon system. I kind of realized the big picture of the brew process.
About a year ago, Jesse Hoff of Anoka decided it was time to make his beer making hobby a career.
I loved the brewery atmosphere, I loved the taproom atmosphere. So I wanted to do something like that back in Minnesota. And the first thing that I actually searched for was a partner in the project.
My brother was telling me about how he had this great vision to create a tap room in downtown Anoka. And he had a business plan put together, and he is very, cautious when he does things. And my first reaction was, let's do it.
Jesse and his sister Ashley Hoff knew they had to bring their beer to Anoka, but tap rooms were barred from downtown.
There had never been a tap room in downtown Anoka, so the city was actually very, very good and helpful. They worked with us to change the zoning laws so that we could be downtown. And when that started to go through, we looked at a few different spaces in the area, and we stumbled across this one because it was 2 adjacent spaces, and we saw the idea of opening them up.
One of the names I came up with was 10K Brewing. 10K Brewing being brewed in the land of 10,000 lakes, because I wanted our beer in the tap room and the brewery to represent Minnesota.
And a motto to match.
Our saying is nice beer, nice people. That means a lot to us. It means that we're nice people, we work with nice people, cultivate a culture in the Anoka area in Minnesota to bring nice beer to this area as well.
With consent to ferment from the city of Anoka, the Hoffs went to work.
When we first moved into this space, it was actually 2 completely separate spaces. It was a holistic healing place and a winemaking shop. The building itself is 135 years old, so it's a very old building, has a lot of history. And unfortunately, over the years, these older buildings, in order to be able to build a shop in here, it's just cheaper to kind of cover up the layers as you go. So it had 3 to 5 layers of flooring, depending on what side you are on. It had 3 layers of drywall over the original brick. And the original 16-foot high ceilings were covered up by layers of suspended ceiling. So the demo process was probably the most rigorous out of the entire construction process.
We blew out the wall here. We uncovered about 4 layers of flooring to get down to the original hardwood floors, which then we sanded and stained. We wanted to keep it a rustic industrial vibe, and we wanted to reuse and repurpose a lot of items. So we have reclaimed wood on our walls. We have salvaged metal on the front of our bar.
Before the first flush, restroom floors needed change.
It looks easy, and then you actually start doing it, and it takes you weeks because I had to put them down one by one, and that was one of my most frustrating moments, but they turned out really awesome.
It took more than pennies to bring suds to 2nd Street. Prospective patrons pitched in before pints could be poured.
We actually did a crowdfunding campaign online, and our Kickstarter backers donated over $31,000 to help us move this project further than what we wanted to take it. With the craft beer community, Anoka citizens, our friends, and our family, we were able to deliver a tap room that is not only functional, but it really restores the history to this building.
We were just blown away by all the support that we got.
Connoisseurs of craft cold ones will need to speak up to keep their favorite flavors on tap.
People may come in and suggest things for us, and we have the ability to try that out because we are a smaller system. We'll have 4 to 5 beers rotating at any time, and I think it'll be a little bit something for everybody.
We're always going to try to offer a range of different beers on tap. Especially for the northern area, we feel that lighter beers like Hefeweizens, Blondes, things like that, we'll try to keep those on taps at all times, as well as the people who like the really aggressive beers like the IPAs, double IPAs, stouts, porters, and then everything in the middle.
Nearby restaurants offer delivery or pickup for 10K customers to eat at the tap room.
Instead of leveraging food trucks, we worked with the local restaurants.
We will have local musicians come and play. We'll have comedians. We may have a bingo night. We just want to kind of mix it up, do something different in downtown Anoka that nobody else really has.
Jesse and Ashley say they wanted taps flowing earlier, but didn't want to cut corners.
There's just been a ton of pressure on this project to get going. Our licensing took a little bit longer on the project than we had liked, as well as getting some of the equipment in. Those delays put us back about a month and a half. But you know, for the most part, we're kind of glad that we took that time to do things right, because we feel like we're going to deliver a better product in the end.
On a daily basis, I get 10 emails or Facebook messages saying, when are you going to open? When are you going to open? That's the #1 question. And we really pushed hard, but when it came down to it, renovating a 130-year-old building was not easy, and every brick you break down, there's something else behind it that you need to fix. So it delayed us a little bit, but we sat down and we thought we wanted to just take our time so that when we did open the doors, it was perfect. We were proud of it, and it was something that everybody in Anoka can be proud of and call a place of their own too.
The Hoff siblings, originally from Coon Rapids, say working with family has made the process a smooth one.
Working with my brother has been pretty easy, actually. We get along great. There are a lot of stressful times, but you just got to remember that we're the only ones here. We're the only ones who's going to get the job done. So we just work together and we make sure that what needs to happen happens.
Ashley smiles, seeing the dream become a reality, and says she hopes many more will do the same.
I always kind of saw the vision from the get-go, but when you are covered in brick dust and bleeding and, you know, in tears, sometimes you think, is it ever really going to happen? But now, every day that I walk in here, it's just a labor of love, and I'm so proud. And me and my brother did such a good job, and my dad, or our dad, he basically built this entire place from ripping it down and putting it all together, so we owe everything to him.
Jesse says those who stop in will see how 10K stands out.
We'd love to have people up here in the Anoka area and experience this. Our brewery is not like any other brewery that you can experience in Minnesota. You can get food from 7 different local restaurants. You can get Quixotic cold brew coffee. You can get Whistler craft soda, Minnesota nice water, as well as true micro craft beer brewed on a small system by hand here on site. And when you're done, we have 5 or 6 bars in the downtown area that you can go and enjoy as well as many shops. You just can't get that anywhere else in Minnesota.
10K Brewing is a completely unique experience. It's a kind of your little hometown, small town tap room. Our whole thing is nice beer, nice people. So when you come in, whether you're brand new or you're a regular, you're going to be treated the same every time, and we're going to be more than happy to sit down and pour you a beer.